you wonder to yourself, how can I make that? You know, I was going through the same thoughts, and I was like, how can I make something like this, or something like this, you know, whatever. But all I have to work with is a 3D printer. There gotta be a software out there that can do something like this. And there is, it's Blender. I went on YouTube tutorials and started watching all the Blender tutorials that I could look up. I just looked for the simplest videos I could find. Kind of learned the simple brushes and all that stuff. To draw creatures, I like to draw whatever it may be, okay? And I wanted to be able to make my own like monster of some sort, or a creature that was like tiny, you could 3D print, bang, maybe even possibly sell in the future if someone was like, oh, that's cool, I want that. This is what I made. And it's a little guy, right? Some people say it looks like Mike Wazowski, and then there's like the logo on the back. I'm about to go over that process, and then by the end of the video, you'll see how I made this motherfucker, right? Bang. I won't go super in depth with all the brushes and stuff that I use to get that creature to be the way he is, but I will go over some of the hiccups that I have that I feel like other videos didn't capture. I made him essentially grabbing the geometry of this and splitting it up into 4 pieces and scale those 4 pieces to be the size of my 3D printing bed to print that guy. So you guys can see how I went from pretty much just an idea to finished product like that. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy. The first thing that I wanted to talk about real quick, real fast, is the remeshing. So, for example, if you start to learn the brushes, if you go like this with, what is this, the draw, you go like this, or whatever, you can pull it out. But you see how these points, you want to, you know, they're not as fine, right? So I'm just going to undo that. But because I'm on Mac, this took me a minute to kind of figure out. I might be a dumbass, I might not. But what you do is you click R for remesh, and then you're just dragging your mouse either left to right to make it finer or bigger if you want. So I would just go finer, and then left click on the mouse. And then to confirm it, you click Control R. So now, as you can see, those lines just got thinner. So then when I start to draw, it's more detailed. And then when you go like this, you know, you can add in more detailed looking shapes compared to the super blocky stuff that was like that. So that was something that really helped me, and hopefully it helps you guys when you go into the next step. I'm just gonna do something quick just to show you guys like what we were working with. So say this is your smiley face now, and you want to cut this up for your printer so you can print it pretty much like as big as you want. The process that actually this is gonna do that I've used is, since I'm on Mac, I first would recommend just saving this as a STL. So we're gonna export this as a STL, and we can just say happy. We say happy, and then we're gonna save that. Okay. So do happy, then we're gonna export it as a STL. This actually helps with the splitting process. I can talk about that a little bit later. But now that that is saved, we can go into the edit mode. To select everything again right now, to deselect it, to select everything, just click the A key. So what I wanna do is I wanna split this up into 4 sections. So the method that I'm going to show you is what I did, but there's probably a more efficient method. So if you know of that method, please comment something, so this can make my process a little bit easier. But what I do is I click this X face right here, and then I scroll down to the knife tool, click and hold, drag mouse over, and then click bisect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a line using the left click, drag a line straight down the middle, and now we have a split going all the way through this piece, right? So now down here in the bottom left corner of the bisect tool, we're actually going to clear one of the sides. So clear inner, that's the left side. And then we're going to click fill, so you can fill it in so you can see the difference. And we're going to save this right side by itself. So we're going to export this as an STL. So I'm going to export this as right. So I did R happy. But before you click export, make sure that this includes section only. So you're including that right side only, nothing else. Then we're going to export it as an STL. Now, before you do anything else, you are going to deselect the clear inner and you're going to click clear outer and do the same process to get your left side. So we're going to export as STL, and then we're going to go left, and then make sure selection only is clicked, and then we're going to export this as a STL. So now what we're going to do is, I like to just go back to object mode and then delete this, and then actually import the STLs that we just did. So you can select both of them. We're going to do R happy and then control, or R happy, control, L happy, and then we're going to import it. Now you don't have to import both, and I do import both, but you don't have to. So let's actually select this left side, and then we're going to go into edit mode. So now that this is selected, click the A key, go down, make sure it's bisect tool is on, and then get it squared up. So the reason I put both of them on is so I can have a general idea. If I'm making a cut through here, I know how it's going to line up with this side. But I feel like there should be a way where you can just slice straight through and then be able to individually save each piece. But this is what I did. I just drew a line like this. You don't have to go all the way through, but I do, just for sanity reasons. And then we're pretty much just going to save each piece the same exact way. So I'll clear inner, which is that bottom piece, and then fill. And then since this is the piece selected, we're going to go file, export, STL, make sure selection is clicked. And then this is actually going to be L, and then we'll just say, like, since it's the top piece, L top happy. And then we're going to export that. We're going to come back down and we're going to do clear inner, and then do clear outer, and then we're going to save that also as a STL, doing the same thing, and then save bottom, and then boom, like those two pieces should be saved, right? So now now that that is, I guess, like that, we can go back now to the object mode and then do the same thing with this side. You can do edit, click A, select everything, a bit more straight. But now keep in mind, it's not going to be perfect with that other side. But since you're just going to glue it together, like, I mean, fuck it. I got a little bit of, you know, I guess pieces not fitting seamlessly, but that's why I don't know how to do this next step on Mac, trying to get 4 perfect pieces. But I'm sure someone knows how to do it, so just let me know and then go from there. So that's why I use right. That's pretty much it, right? These are, now this is split up into 4 pieces. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to open up the Bamboo Lab Studio to create a new project. So I'm using the Bamboo Lab H2S, the big motherfucker. Now add the pieces that we just brought in. So I'll do left bottom. We're going to open that up. Too small. So I guess, yeah, you'll get that, but fuck it. We'll do the auto scale. And then we'll actually add another plate. Why is it? Oh, right there, my bad. I'm tweaking. All right, so we're gonna add a plate. So that was, what was that? That was L bottom. So here we're going to import maybe L top or whatever. Yeah, I don't care. We're gonna scale it anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then we'll add right bottom, and then we'll do right top, my bad. So we're gonna auto all these, and then actually we're going to scale it to max, essentially. So let's see, I can pull that corner out and get it to be about, let's see, whatever that is. I'm just gonna copy it and then come here. So sometimes it might do it automatically, but sometimes it might not. Let's see, scale this one and just paste it in, and then this one, just paste it in. So now we have all of them pasted and worked, and then you just do your preview. So that example that I showed you was the same exact process for making my monster. This is what each of the pieces look like. Now I say use the strong tree supports just because this piece is going to be massive, so you don't want to risk an 11-hour print due to one shitty support. So yeah. This is what it looks like so far. Just have it taped together, but you get the gist. The last quarter is printing now, so yep. See how that goes. Bang, bang, bang. Look at that. Look at that motherfucker. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this child. Look at this child. Look at him. Damn. Damn. So yeah, here's just a time lapse of me going over the assembly process. So I'm using super glue right here, and this was applied after sanding the inside of each quarter, and I'm using tape to kind of hold everything together. Now, as you can see on that bottom surface, both I guess faces or bottom faces that were cut weren't perfectly even. That goes back to my thing I was talking about in Blender, where I am still not able to get that perfect line through to make each piece, I guess, flush. So if you know how to do that, please leave a comment. I'm begging, because I definitely plan on making more creatures like this in the future. But yeah, I think the only other issue that I really had with this assembly was during the printer process, it was getting really cold in my room and it was leading to some type of warpage. So to kind of avoid that warpage, I did put a heater by my printer, and I made sure to enable the bridge feature around each part too. And then that's why I said use the strong tree supports, because that definitely helps a lot. And then now once everything's together, like I'm just sanding out the parts that were kind of coming from the warpage itself to just try to get it as clean as I can for the time being. But yeah, this is how it turned out, and you know, I'm not disappointed with it at all. I think the next step with this guy is to kind of fill in all those cracks and crevices that you see there and sand them down a little bit more, make them super smooth, and then bust out the spray paint and go crazy with it. So yeah, this was the video. I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next one. My name is Cameron Safak, and see ya.